Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2. The Cravers are, hopefully, largely exhausted. The United Empire look like they might be pretty distracted. And the Hisho are rattling sabers, but I don't even think they have any idea how they're going to attack us. On the whole, I think our current and prospective wars are looking pretty positive for us. I'm especially pleased about the fact that the Hisho only seem to have a very small amount of military technology. The fact that they're capped at 7 command points in their fleet means they can't be very deep in the military tree. I suspect we're going to be able to take their fleets down very, very quickly. How long are we... We're one turn off of doing that, right? Where's the... Yeah, we're one turn off of completing that fleet and then heading over there to let them know what's up. The party van will accompany. We'll probably be able to take Eridanis very quickly. At least I hope so. It shouldn't take anywhere near as long as Tikal, since we have the party bus going along. Oh yeah, hey, an election. At this point, honestly, the militarists staying in the government is definitely beneficial to us, and I don't know how badly we need the scientists, actually. Looks like our people's love for science probably will not be overwhelmed, but we are definitely going to see scientist militarist. Well, some of these systems have an awful lot of industrial and pacifist votes. I'm surprised by all the pacifist will, actually. Oh, it looks like militarists might have won in the end. So we got ourselves access to the Spoils of War Act, which I'm very pleased to have. Let's go ahead and refigure our government a little bit. We are still producing some large ships, but I think we're going to cut the lower ship cost bill. Because I think we need this for the approval. And we need this for the minus 10% upkeep and plus dust for opponent command points destroyed. Let's go ahead and stop. Hey, stop. You know, I turned on the notifications to don't pop up until I click on you. It seems like they are maybe ignoring my my desires there. We also got access to a pretty powerful weapon damage module, or weapon damage law from the scientists, but unfortunately, I don't think that this is actually... I mean, it's not really unfortunate, but I don't think this is super relevant to our concerns, because most of the problems we're having now are siege-related, manpower and troop-related. Weapon module damage is not a thing we need help with. Okay, Ingress is compromised, which I don't care about. But here, deal with it. Oh, look at that, we're still content. Botha is compromised, which we extremely don't care about. It's actually already, we knew it was compromised. Alright, where am I being attacked? The Hawks at Sing hate living. They would like it if I helped them stop living. Well, good news. Your wish is granted. There you go. That's what we need. This is how we're going to run this economy. Maybe we needed to get the militarists into the government a little bit sooner. So let's go ahead and pop these ships out to our destination. Unfortunately, I believe teleporting consumes all of their movement. So we won't actually be ready to start moving this turn. I just want to merge you guys up. The party van will arrive a little bit late, but that's fine. And the Argosy can stop being a portal here now, probably? Yeah, probably. What do we see flying around out here? Okay, that's not exactly terrifying. Probably the fastest way to get to where we're going is to, yeah, jump straight across like that, but I'm wondering if we might not want to go this way instead just to avoid the medium ships that we can already see out here. I guess that's a problem we can solve next turn when we actually have movement available. Alright, I really need to be able to retrofit this Behemoth. It's so expensive. We could cut the retrofit design back. Maybe that's the move. Maybe we just make it as basic as possible. What if I did this? That's a pretty cheap ship. And to be perfectly honest, losing it and rebuilding it isn't really all that strange of a strategy. We'll mobilize the ship. It already has some weapon modules in place and everything. We could just put it back like it was, but with the portal. If I can remember what it was like. Unfortunately, I don't believe there's a way to go back to a previous design. It was probably all mid-range lasers, right? Although I don't know that these are the appropriate lasers. We didn't have this mount. I was kind of curious, like if we try to outfit this in a way that's a little bit less powerful, what does the retrofit cost look like? Still 12k, actually. Okay, let's make it just the engine and the teleporter. Because the weapon damage can come from the ships that are going to teleport in with it. That's actually totally doable. So I'm going to assume that the rules, if the rules are the same here, and this thing we can't do this inside a hostile sphere of influence, then this is probably only very slightly faster than just sending ships to Hadar. In fact, it might be even the same speed as just sending ships to Hadar. I understand why it's like that for balancing purposes, but that really does make that less effective for us. Here, we'll test it. We'll go to Elyon and see if I'm allowed to turn it on there. I'm assuming that I will not be. So the portal on Hadar might be all we need then. I don't know, this doesn't really matter too much. Is it really the case that green only has one system? That's really bizarre. Alright, what do we want to build next? System's pretty tricked out. The expanded mines at least gives us a little bit more money because we can sell off the extra luxury or the extra strategics. Probably the thing to do next is just to get back to building ships. We have a party van in the works, I believe. Right, the second one would have almost no manpower in it then. You're producing a Scade. Are you? You're producing. Okay, yeah. So, building ships at all is just leeching manpower out of that thing. I suppose we could take a minute and build some additional science. Certainly not a useless thing. It would take us 4 turns to reach this planet. Is this worth doing? I don't really know what to do with this ship. We probably need to have some stuff at home or near home for defense purposes. Although I guess we have portals, right? We have portals. We can always just get everybody to anywhere. Yeah, so if we don't have an immediate use for this guy, where is best for him to sit? Might actually be up here. Just to be ready in case things do not go the way we are hoping they will go. Down on Quorum. We do not really need a portal. I guess this system can be turned to dust production. Man, this is inefficient. Okay, Corvus definitely still has things that need to get built. We're producing population more quickly here. Yeah, I guess get level 3 modernization up. We are rapidly approaching being not dust negative for the first time in a really long time. We probably want to get this up. And actually, we have a ton of luxuries here. We could really fix the food output of this system. Okay. So there is a neutral node over here that we could use to bring people in, and that would be useful for attacking both Rassam and Deki. I think that's where the Argosy is going next. We're going to try to fly, like, probably from Columba over to there, maybe? I think that should work. And I might want to do that now. We have more than enough ships over here. It's a shame that I can't use the Argosy itself as a portal for it. That would be a nice, easy way to get home. Alright, how are things going down on Craver Prime? Oh man, look at that. The dust number is positive. 525. Okay, Ingress is compromised. Turns out all of our systems are always compromised. You know how we're going to deal with it? Winning the game. Oh hey, I forgot all about this. Your researchers are tired, and other parts of your economy beg for investment, but Yggsraz's request has been fulfilled. Strangely, he himself is no longer in contact with you. An assistant, a Zvali named Devex, claims ignorance of the Sofon's whereabouts. There's some kind of weird intrigue occurring within the academy. Stuff I really don't care about. But we got immigrant integration, which is just awesome. We have enough foreign population that this is probably a significant boost. Oh no, Sula's been compromised again. Whatever, man. We'll just keep scanning. It seems like there's no capability for that to fail. It just always finds people. So I don't know. I don't know how you balance the whole sleeper system. I don't really have a good sense of the balance of the sleeper system now, but it seems like it's always going to take you more than 5 turns to perform a hack that will install sleepers on someone's system. Yeah, I don't know. The way it feels to me right now is, if I get a notification that one of my systems has been compromised, I'm just going to run the sleeper reintegration, which means that all that the install sleeper hack is really doing is lowering the approval of the system by 25% for 5 out of however many turns it actually takes them to run their hacks. It doesn't actually seem that good. It should probably just be harder. Like, you shouldn't just get a notification that something went wrong. And maybe we're not, right? Maybe we're not being notified every time a sleeper gets converted. But I would have to hope that that's the way the system works, because otherwise it seems like installing sleepers is pretty bad. When you're playing against a person, anyway. You are waiting to hear from the Mercurial Sophon again, or perhaps his assistant, when you are contacted by a different leader. She simply calls herself Chloris, a Mizari ship captain, once the commander of Knit Muldar and the military strategist behind the rebellion. Her interests turned to science and archaeology, and it fell to her to organize much of the construction of the new metropolis around the sacred ruins left by the lost. Now one of the foremost experts on endless technology and lore, she is asking that you build research and academic centers urgently to maintain the balance of power in the galaxy and within the factions of the Academy. During your brief discussion, you learn that the Fetiz-class hero ship Drop was named in memory of the Mizan professor who instructed her when she was a Vodyani slave. She comments that the Fetiz-class ships are lethal offensive weapons, which is a fitting memorial. Okay. It seems like a lot of details that don't really connect in any meaningful way. Maybe I'm not following the thread here, but like it seems like in this quest, just a lot of stuff is happening. We're talking to Sophon, and then nope, we're not talking to Sophon. Now we're talking to Zvali, and now we're talking to a Mizari. But we're not being given enough information about why all of a sudden Zvali, why all of a sudden this Mizari, her past as a slave of the Vodyani. Like, I wonder if there's information here I'm supposed to have that I don't have that is going to make this meaningful. In any case, build 3 science improvements is a thing that we're already working on. Plus 2% dust on Empire per assimilated minor faction. Hey, that solves our money problems real fast. We are definitely currently working on at least 3 science improvements. Yeah, there's 3 of those running. So that's cool. That'll help us. You know, there are external story materials. There are, like, comics and stuff. I wonder if the comics have in them information that would make this all a little more obviously meaningful. Alright, well, it's only going to take 2 turns for the taxis to make their way over here. I think we'll have the party van get moving next turn with its escort, and the Argosy can... So if I just tell it to go straight over here, it'll just fly to Columba and across, flying through a lot of hostile territory to do that, right? Unfortunately, in order to actually issue the order, I have to... Yeah, okay. We can see the movement points along here. Are they going to let me just fly through Eridanis, or would I be better off, like, directing us back through Dobrynia to Hadar and then teleporting over to Vorda? I guess let's try the direct path. This will provide a little bit of scouting information for the fleets that are headed to Eridanis as well. Man, this thing really is fast. Those ram scoops are powerful. Okay, so we might we might get attacked here. I could see that happening. They seem to be reluctant to attack with their non-military behemoths, even when doing so would obviously be hugely beneficial. Alright, so we're working on the Quadronix toroids that'll give us the ability to reveal Basal Staccato's home system. You're home, and I honestly have no idea what to do with you. Just get, I guess, just get in the hangar. At some point we'll have some new probes to outfit you with. I don't know, man. I don't know what we could do to you that would actually be useful. And over here we can at least fly around and reveal some stuff. There are curiosities yet unexplored. Probably these are all going to be us revealing resource deposits that the Sophons cannot themselves see. Which is kind of weird, because you would expect the Sophons would have developed the technology necessary to do things like that. Let's give this 1 or 2 more turns. And then, like I said, as soon as we take Tikal, we build a portal on it, and we'll have to leave some ships behind for defense. At least until we can get the Cravers to agree to a truce. I'll probably just move this fleet over there. Right, because I won't really need to defend Guyana anymore. If we were to lose Guyana, it would hurt us, like, not even a tiny little bit. Right, hacks are ending this turn. Let's go ahead and get the Argosy moving quickly before our enemies are able to put together what is going on here and actually attack us. Okay. Blockade that's irrelevant because it's unresolvable. Just go ahead and install... This is Micra? Screwing with their navigation actually might be reasonable here. We can topple their government. I don't think that is probably all that helpful. We can support revolutionaries. You know, we're going to do this because I'm curious what it will do exactly. So use the populations of this system to spawn pirate invasion fleets. Fortunately, I don't have a ton of vision. Okay, yep. Still have to be outside of the hostile sphere of influence. There's not really a node that's loose around here. United Empire are really good at influence generation, so you can see their influence bubbles are huge. So yeah, Viatris is the only place that we'd be able to bring people anyway, which means that this Behemoth really doesn't work well as a portal, because we could already just teleport people to Hadar. Let's go down to Botha, and now that the food is really coming along, get that modernization going. You know, honestly, our science output is probably pretty good relative to the other players here. 65-21 on turn 103 is not like... That's not I'm on track to win a science victory pace, but it's not bad. Alright, so they stopped us with a bunch of tiny hawks. We will attack them, because screw these guys. So these want to be at short range for the 11s and medium range for the other two. And obviously, I want to limit the exposure of my non-combat ships. They only have 5 command points. They only have access to the top 2 flotillas. We're going to move all of the non-fighters to the bottom. And then you guys just want to be... Oh, these are both older ships, so they want to be at long range. So actually we want to do this and move all the non-combat ships. Well, no, we want to move all the non-combat ships to the bottom, though, because that's the one they don't have access to. So, yeah, this is fine. Presumably they will just retreat. One of our ships will be operating at medium instead of long, which is not great, but... They fought us because they are idiots. The predictable outcome occurred. They actually did more damage than I would have liked. Okay, next turn. Eridanus. You guys should probably, at this point, come along. Just wanted to make sure the party van didn't get blown up on the way there. Now we are in control of the path. Wow, there's a lot of stuff out here. Like I said, I bet it's going to be all resource deposits. No, apparently the Sophons just haven't been over here. Wow, 5 XP on ships. That might well have been like a beginning of the game curiosity. I didn't look at the strength of it. Would not have thought that there would be any of those left, though. Alright, yeah, things are going pretty well. It's true, I did finish a hack. I suppose the best thing to do, like, I have to get good at timing my hacks reaching our targets. I suppose what I'm going to do is just have a hack that is always on the way to Micra. Not totally ideal. So how did I even get that hack to Micra? Did I run it along... I must have run it along this path. They just didn't catch us at Elyon for some reason. They don't have defensive programs up. Seems a little strange. Given that they have a single system that serves as the bottleneck to their empire from all other directions, I would definitely be running defensive stuff there. They must have been running too much offensive stuff. Okay. That could be overkill, but it is pretty important. I'm going to cancel this accelerator. I think that one's less important, because we do have a few jumps on the path to Sable. Even if that gets traced, it probably won't get caught in time. Okay, so with that, let us hit the button here, and then we're going to go after Tikal this turn. This will put us at 5 home worlds. The dominoes are going to start falling pretty quickly here, I hope. Fingers crossed, with any luck, the dominoes are going to start falling pretty quickly here. I guess, actually, one thing we should probably do is check out our stuff here. We don't quite have the resources for the extra damage and health on all of our troops. Would we be able to purchase that? Is that a thing that's available? No. Oh no, Guyana's been compromised. Okay, yeah, let's just drop then. We should more than have them here. We have a ton of troops. We're going to go blitz, just really commit super hard. We did not get them. Nope, with their draft they were able to hold out. Well, they ended up with less than they started with, so hopefully we're going to be able to push them down. I was really hoping we weren't going to get that. A listening outpost on the far edge of your territory has picked up a garbled communication and sends an urgent message up the chain of command. Someone is leaking military secrets to a rival empire and could jeopardize upcoming offensive operations. The message and its origin are unclear, but a digital forensics team is able to pinpoint one clue: that the attached files contain metadata originating from the terminal of an artillery officer of one of your minor civilizations. The soldier's record is exceptional, but there have always been those who have complained at allowing an outsider to rise so high in military command. Yo, if he's in our civilization, he's not an outsider. Refuse trial, because we like, we don't... We're at positive 336. I think this doesn't actually take us negative. Even if it did take us negative, it would have to take us very negative for it to matter. We've got a good stockpile built up. And it turns out we no longer need influence. Hey, I want to confirm. There we go. Turns out we no longer need to worry about influence for making deals, because deals are not makeable, given the way the alliances have grown. So we lost... Okay, we have enough red saying for one of those boosts, and we're close to the other one. It is nice to be slightly positive. I mean, we're getting close to having 20 pulsos. If I had spent a little bit more effort stewarding that, like really trying to make sure it happened, we probably could have made it happen, but like as you're seeing, given the path we ended up going, it is not so important. We don't need the extra stats. This guy's exactly ran out of movement on Pardalis. Let's run off these Behemoths. Should be very, very easy. Sorry, we want power to shields. You know what I should have done, actually? Since I can only attack one Behemoth at a time... Wait, did they... They actually just fought us. Weird. What I should have done there was broken out the two Skeeds into separate fleets, so that it would only cost one of their action points to blow up each Behemoth. Because yeah, now we're not in control of the system. They're still defending with a Behemoth, so we have to wait until next turn to start the siege damage. Well, next turn it is. All we have to do is be in control of the sky for a moment. And I mean, we'll see how much siege damage actually even helps us here. We might just try to go in really super hard. Yeah, you know what? We can just do this. We can just take the inferior battle tactic, because we're definitely still going to kill the economic behemoth, and this gives us an extra 200 science. Okay, wasn't expecting this to be a really complicated thing. Oh, it had to... It slowed down executing the battle so that it would have time to move a bunch of other stuff in here so that we would not have control of the system after the behemoth is defeated. That feels a little shitty. Because when we attacked, there were not other fleets in the system. And so yeah, now I do not have control, and so I couldn't drop if I wanted to. Well, get over here. So if they attack us, they will attack the fleet that has the fleet that is considered to be the strongest. So what I'm going to do is pop you out. You... Merge the Skeed in here. And in fact, we'll just drop the taxis out too. The support fleets, support stuff can all get merged together. So if they go for an attack on us, it will put them up against this fleet. Oh, really? They moved all but one ship away. Okay, hold on. Let's re-separate this guy, because he still has his action point. We can just one-on-one that kite. You want to be close, right? Yeah. One-on-one that kite, causing it to fight or run, and then when it is gone, we will actually have control of the airspace here. I don't know why they moved so much stuff in, only to have it move back out. That seems very strange to me. But now we are in charge. Orbiting fleets will provide a bonus manpower of 1,100 to this system if it is invaded. Huh. This is not an actual ship, and it certainly doesn't have 1,100 manpower on it. This is here because of a quest. Well, let's not drop right away here. Let's burn them down a little bit, and also see if we can't let that notification clear up, because I'm sure that it is in error. All right, Rilkata, Has to get through that unfortunate period in the middle still. What's up, little guy? And the scout is bringing a little bit of extra manpower to us. We are once again going to blitz them with all of our might. We left them with 75 manpower remaining. And we destroyed their tractable armaments in our extremely powerful blitz here. So next turn they're going down. Without this to fight back against us, it's very hard to imagine that they'll be able to hold out. Man, I feel like we are just constantly finishing things that give us dust, and our dust number just somehow finds a way to keep being negative. Alright, so we have another trade company available to us. Probably just want to make the headquarters be on this side. We'll do the same thing. So we're running these big trade routes. Let's have a look at our trade routes here. You can see them. What is the meaning of... I don't know all the notation. What is the big dotted line supposed to represent? Are those the blockaded trade routes? I think that's what we're seeing. The blockaded trade routes that are trying to run between our empire and the Lumeris Empire. But you can see each system has each trade company has an amount that is outputting. Each system has a... Where do I see the star system trade value? There's definitely a notation of all of the star system trade values. I don't remember what zoom level it's at. Can't see it right now. I can see all the trade factors in this tooltip, but... we see the trade value in... No, okay. Well, the way the trade companies work, roughly, is that a trade company gathers the trade value from every system that it crosses as it's moving from one side of your empire to the other. And so, dragging it across more systems makes it more valuable. Increasing the trade value of your systems also makes the trade route more valuable. It is not a thing that we're going to be putting a lot of effort into maximizing here, obviously. I guess this is the best place for me to do this. But it can be a very powerful thing if you want to put the effort into making it a very powerful thing. Is that a minor faction? Hold on a second. You get over here. It could also be, the Sofon quest does cause a world to spawn, cause a system to spawn pretty late in the game. That could be all it is. In fact, judging from the size of because of the curvature here, we know that the size of this influence bubble isn't very large. That's probably all it is, actually. You make a portal right there, and we will be right with you. Hopefully, we'll be able to finish off this Tikal thing next turn, and then we can just jump these guys right to the Argosy. And like I said, we'll move Giena's reinforcement fleet down to Tikal once we have the portal up. Okay, hold on a second. Let's resolve this first. So a blitz against their very small amount of manpower without their tractable armaments to fight us back off, I think is going to end in failure for them. Although it's going to take a long time to do so. Got a bunch of systems being compromised. Let us claim Tikal. Occupy. We are not the first to unlock the third population collection bonus level within our empire. Actually, we may have been the first to do this, but they unlocked the legendary deed, so they get first crack at it. And hey, look at that. We built 3 science improvements. We now have the Academy of Finance and Investment. Hopefully, when our dust recalculates next turn, it will actually be a positive number. It has to be, right? What do we have, like 5 assimilated minor factions or something like that? This should be enough dust to push us over. Loris and Yggdrasil apparently share an opinion on rebellions and uncontrolled assets. As your scientific discoveries boost the deeper insights of the Academy, there is agreement that a wider variety of experiences coming from unusual eclectic sources can only help their cause. Part of the troubles plaguing the Academy are a result of its structure. It has two primary centers of study or education, and they often compete for resources and attention. One of them is involved in the historical study of the lost and endless ruins and their technological analysis. The other is the public face, because this first core purpose is voluntarily kept hidden from outsiders. This second domain includes the perception of hero candidates, their filtering based on their potential, their training and education, and eventually, the vast galaxy-wide service business of renting out their skills to interested organizations. Isiander's deepening interest in the first center has left the second with less oversight and control than it needs. There is disaffection within the Academy and within your systems. Maintain your prestige. Earn, buffs to air troops. I think this is a pretty good idea, because, let's be honest, there's very little reason to use air troops against the AI. Very little reason to use air troops in general. Like, the reason you would want to start training air troops is if you're facing a force like mine, which is all tanks. This is not really a single-player concern, so anything they could do to buff air troops during the game would make it at least maybe sensible for you to use some. Alright, so it's going to be 2 turns to build this portal. Also, geez, did he really not have colonization of all of his systems? And we destroyed some of his important stuff here, so we should rebuild that. Stim City and Luxury Deposit or the Luxuries Lottery are both terrible here. Petrovchutka has continued to level up. I guess lowering disapproval is actually relevant. This game, our disapproval is significant, I would say. Vorta has completed a warship. We'll get that guy out and do something with him. And what do we need next from Vorta? Honestly, I'm not even sure. So we're still working on this party van here. When this thing gets built, it's going to take a huge bite out of our manpower. So I don't want to have another one coming out of Vorta like 2 turns later. Our manpower pool won't have had time to recover. There just won't be enough manpower to make it interesting. I guess just continue producing larges. They're going to continue to bring ships down here, and I'm going to continue to run them off. Alright, so we should shut down hacks that we've intercepted without even bothering to know really where they're from, because who cares? On Sibel, I think it only makes sense to embed more sleepers in the hopes of stealing more stuff from the Sophons, who will probably be the last target that we go after. So we're just going to keep running that stuff out. And I think I already have... Nope, I don't have domestic surveillance running in all these locations. I definitely do here. Yeah. Alright, this battle at Sing should be very straightforward. And lucrative if they stand and fight. Which they totally did. Extremely foolish. Oh, hey, look at that. We are slightly positive on dust for the moment. Looks like there's another ship coming in, or maybe... No, this ship is leaving. Okay, over here, we definitely need to blow up these guys. Do we have... No, we have no hero here whatsoever. Just going to make sure the hero was equipped correctly. So you are you are short. The other 2 are long-range ships, ideally. You know, I'm just going to do science from scrap here. This guy is in a flotilla that's going to be trying to close to short range, but he's going to be... not firing directly across, right? He's going to be firing at other flotillas, so he'll never be treated as though he's at short range anyway. And this will give us all that extra science. Yeah, these are pretty lucrative little battles now. So what we would really like to do is drop while there aren't any other ships in the air, so that they're not able to drop manpower on the planet behind us. Let's wait one more turn here. You, I guess, can just pick up level 3 modernization. You are going to fire a probe over there. It's probably, like I said, just the Sophon quest system. But if it is a minor faction and they somehow haven't managed to take control of it, we need to be on top of that. You guys can attack this one lone hero ship, I suppose. Can't... Okay, it's full health. The thing is, the party van itself does have weapons, and a single small ship with 278 damage is probably not going to be able to get through the party van's massive hit point pool. So even though... Wow, that's a terrible way to set those ships up. What on earth? And this thing wants to be at long range. So let's fight like this. Yeah, even though the ship is really not outfitted for combat, this should be a pretty easy blowout. Yeah, no damage at all. Okay. It should not be the case that orbiting fleets will provide a manpower bonus to this system. My guess is that this tooltip just doesn't refresh until the beginning of a new turn. Because right, 700 manpower is the 3 medium ships and the 2 medium ships at 300 each, and the 1 small ship at 100 that were orbiting the system at the beginning of the turn. I suppose this is an opportunity to find out if that manpower is actually removed from the system's orbit immediately upon the destruction of the ships, or if it lags until the beginning of the next turn. Yeah, because they'll have 1091 or 1791. I guess, yeah, let's find out. We have an overwhelming advantage here. I really am just going to blitz because we have so much manpower and so much ability to apply it. And notice, it was not 1791 total manpower that they had available. So yeah, the tooltip is just not updating correctly. The manpower is removed from the system as soon as you drive off the ships, which is the way that should work and the way I remembered it working. But it's good to be certain. And yeah, we're gonna have this system next turn, trivially. Okay, let's go talk to the Cravers, I suppose, and see if they would like to call the whole thing off. Turns out, it looks like they love this idea. We might actually be able to even get some concessions. So we destroyed their navy, we conquered their homeworld. Yeah. What if you gave me... Oh yeah, the ability to colonize barren worlds. That would be neat. To hear him be like, oh, okay. Not the sort of thing you usually hear expressed in that voice. Okay. I feel alright with that. We didn't actually need any concessions, but the ability to colonize barren worlds definitely has some value. Sign the treaty, you big weird space robot cyborg bug. Alright, and so with the treaty signed, we do not even need to keep a fleet on Guyana. So, let's do some stuff here. The fleet on Guyana probably teleports across to here to make the way clear. We probably want to cut these guys out into their own fleet. Interesting, this fleet still has movement left then. I wonder if the way... Because teleporting wipes out your movement, right? We saw that already. I wonder if the way that they're actually doing that is by subtracting a number of movement points from the fleet equal to its max movement. So in this case, every ship in the fleet lost 4 movement because that was the speed of the lowest ship. And now that we've unequipped the slow ships, these guys still have movement left. That's definitely not how that's supposed to work. But we should be able to go forth and clear the path here a little bit. And you guys are just part of the defense force now. Not that the Behemoth... Well, actually, no. That Behemoth does need defenses. It does not currently have any guns. And then next turn, this portal... Or no, 2 turns the portal completes. We could have this ship just jump over to a portal and leave, but I don't know if that's necessary. Also, it doesn't have any movement. You know what? Sing needs a portal. We should probably put that before the trade company. May as well erect a bunch of them. Alright, so Eridanus is ours. I'm still a little bit bummed out about the fact that we're going to have to actually go and take over... oh, the Cravers are set to win this quest that I don't care about. Also, my alliance is close to achieving a supremacy victory. I really wish they would reword those. What they mean is, we got halfway there. You receive the first close to doing thing notification when somebody reaches half of a victory condition. If you don't know that they don't actually mean close, I can see that that pop-up generating a little bit of concern. But really, all they mean is that they have gotten anywhere at all on it. Oh, I've gained control over the Ursa constellation. Which constellation is that? Where's the constellation view? Here we go. Oh, down here. We control 15 of these systems within our alliance, so we are now getting a bonus to industry, which we don't need on them. Industry is always good, obviously, but we are... Probably it is the case that we already have built everything that we need to build to win the game. Oh, we didn't quite finish them off. We managed to stick around. We destroyed a bunch of their improvements. Apparently it only shows you 4, even if you destroy more than 4. It's just a limitation. There's no scroll bar here. But they're, especially without some of their defensive stuff, they're definitely not going to be able to continue holding out. Alright, down here, I don't know that we actually need much more. I suppose, honestly, Wellbeing Foundation is maybe one of the best things we could build on some of our remaining systems. Things are solidifying. Now we just need to not fall apart. Alright, so you guys have to wait a little while longer. Oh, they do have a supply ship there. You just take that. Boy, the Sophons have just not been thorough with searching their stuff, which is weird, because it doesn't seem like they have a lot else to do up here. Yeah, very strange, very strange. What is this? It is a single wounded scout ship. Well, blow it up. That's just bad luck. He had no way of knowing that we had set up a blockade over here. Alright, that doesn't really need to be thought about for that long. So, purple is... Okay, purple has large ships. Oh no, battleships are mediums. Okay, so purple is going to fight to take Allion back. That's good for us. A little bit of distraction is very helpful to our cause. And... one turn until we can move off into Call. So what, we take Micro pretty quickly. Actually, what I should probably do here... it would take a couple of turns to move. It's probably better to just leave us on Viacharis, because the fleets that we're warping in are faster than the military behemoth is. But it would be better to move to Allion if we weren't going to go right now. But so we're gonna teleport to Viacharis with a bunch of ships next turn and head to Micra to begin the siege. We'll get a party van directed to there post haste, and then we're doing similar thing over here. We're going to be pulling these ships pretty soon, moving them to IRAS 04395. This should be actually a pretty fast cleanup because there's not a lot of space involved. So yeah, I don't know how much longer this is going to take, but we're extremely on our way. I don't know why I keep clicking them. Oh, a ship needs orders? No, it's actually a ship that cannot even take orders. It has run out of movement points. So you can see, our systems that we took over from Horatio have started to generate influence bubbles, but Guyana is still laboring beneath the Craver bubble here. This is a tough situation. Alright, blitz them at Eridanis. Absolutely no reason to do anything other than run at them as fast as possible while screaming. Is our usual strategy. Yep, I don't actually care about all this compromise nonsense. It is not going to have an effect that is going to prevent us from winning the game, so who cares? Alright, we claim Eridanis. He would like a truce. I refuse. This unaffiliated military behemoth has shown up and challenged us to a duel. We will destroy it trivially and gain some science and dust here. Yeah, weird. I don't know if that was a thing that was in privateer mode, or if it was like a fleet that was spawned by a quest, or what the hell that was. But the only really important thing is that it does not matter. Oh, sorry, not a behemoth. C3 center. We don't want one of these eventually. Yeah, a lot of these systems don't really have a lot of meaningful stuff left to build. Let's get those up. I suppose this stuff is also important. Probably... yeah, that order's fine. Whatever. You know, an infinite supermarket might be enough to get us out of Mutinous. I believe that Mutinous, the top line for Mutinous is 15%, so this seems pretty relevant. Also, I think my chair is only getting louder with age. Alright, so you guys are teleporting over to... which side do we want this group going to? Probably Beatrice. This is a fine direction for this. We're going to have to take Micra, and then once we take Micra, we're going to have to refit at least one of the ships in this fleet with the ability to reveal cloaked stuff. We'll use the Academy to track down the actual position of the Umbral Choir, and then our anti-cloaking module to put them away. My suspicion is that they will not have a very large or powerful military. Probably pretty easy to deal with. But you can see here, again, the limitations of the AI. Like, this thing I'm doing is a little awkward to defend against. But it should not be the case that I can just run around doing it to everybody at the same time. It should probably be a little bit harder, such that I have to, I don't know, stop and recover between targets, or... whatever. It's fine. 9k is an awful lot. Could we accelerate that, maybe? Can we make 9k happen? We have a lot of resources. Okay, apparently people are crazy for Dark Glitter right now, which I am all about, because man oh man do I not need this stuff. And who wants 200 titanium? Okay, problem solved. Get that portal done, we got places to be. Here, build all this stuff, and then we'll talk later. Alright, so the ships from Eridanis are going to just jump over to here. We're going to be able to make some pretty fast progress here. It is definitely going to require another episode, but maybe just the one, honestly. So are we refilling manpower pretty quickly here? We definitely want at least the party band to be full. Okay, next turn, yeah, we will actually be completely full. Drawing manpower out of the Empire pool. Manpower can pretty much always just teleport around. Stuff goes out of the Empire pool into ships that are at any of your systems, or I believe any allied system, or any system that is within your influence or allied influence. You can, for example, if we were to... if we were in control of Eridanis here, and we were attacking Echius, and Eridanis' influence bubble was like this, so Echius was inside of it, when we drop our forces onto Echius to use the ground to do a ground battle, we would actually be able to apply a significant percentage of our Empire manpower stock to the battle, because the ships are just instantly refilling and dropping manpower. So yet another reason that you might want to focus on influence and make sure you have really good influence bubbles. If we were to attack Electra, like, we'd be able to just dump our whole Empire manpower supply into the battle there. You guys are right where you need to be. Or at least right where we can afford for you to be for the moment. Let's see if the Juggernaut encounters any meaningful resistance at Micro. We know that Yellow blew up a bunch of purple ships already. So I'm hoping that purple is just a little bit too strained. Oh. It looks like we've revealed some hidden stuff. I'm assuming, right, because when the diamond is white, that means they were cloaked. Do we have... Oh, he might, right? Did he... Somebody had a skill that revealed cloak stuff. Maybe I'm thinking of something from last game. Why would these guys be revealed right now, if they are cloaked units normally? We don't have any anti-cloaking as far as I'm aware. Well, yes. I will accept a truce with you. And that has come to an end. Oh, hey, apparently we produced 280... We were briefly over 280 influence. We also could have done this at any time. It's only checking your, it's checking your income, so we could have done this at any time by just canceling a law as well for a turn. As the fame and power of your empire grows, the squabbling heroes take a step back and reconsider their choices. Do they wish to start their own empires, or would they prefer to explore, study, and test themselves against the forces of history? Agreements are reached, memorandums are signed, and the life of the Academy begins to return to normal. Is the plural of memorandum not memoranda? I don't know. The problem has not gone away, but for the moment it has receded. The Academy leaders are grateful, even impressed, and that is no small feat. Yeah, okay, so the quest just sort of like peters out and stops happening without it ever being made. Like, they don't really illustrate exactly what the problems in the Academy are like. They sort of, there's a lot of tell, not show going on here. I don't know. This whole quest line seems very strange to me. Alright, is there a skill that's a little bit more invasion focused? No, there is not. Alright, well, plus damage on weapon modules it is then. Yeah, and these encounter and battle remains, we get a garbage small ship that can't be retrofitted, or 60 science. Those numbers need to be way higher for that to be interesting at all. You head back over there. Here we need to fight, but I need to consider... Those are pirates. I think I want to break this fleet up, so we get to fight twice. Definitely attack these guys. You see, we don't get to pick which of their fleets we want to fight. It's just whichever one is most powerful is the one you attack. So the Juggernaut's going to close range these guys. Shouldn't be a problem. It might actually be interesting to watch. It is three medium-sized ships. Oh, see, his ships are smart enough to run away when they're totally outmatched. The Hisho do not like to flee. This should be completely trivial. You want to be long range, though, right? Can we swap these two? Oh, no, you have to have one command point in the middle flotilla, and hero ships do not have command points. This guy is effective at any range. We don't know what he'll pick. But also, he just really doesn't have a lot of offensive power. Yeah, let's go for long range in the middle flotilla. Just be as effective as possible. Okay, they're just gonna retreat. So then we remerge. That's not actually necessary. If we got attacked, if you attack an enemy that has multiple fleets worth of command points, but that has multiple fleets with a command point total that is less than the amount of command points they're allowed to jam into a single fleet, it auto-merges them together for defense, which is a way to stop an exploit. Right, theoretically, this is not the one I want. If it didn't do that, then when you get attacked, or when it looks like you're going to be attacked, you could just split all of your ships into individual fleets, and the enemy would have to fight them one ship per command point at a time. So what ended? It was the Remnant boost. We ran out of ionic crystals. Well, we can fix that. We lost a remnant to starvation at some point due to our very low approval level. I mean, there's not much for it, unfortunately. We're just going to have to... Oh, United Empire's fighting back a little bit. Well, I'm not really in a position to stop them at the moment. Ships I have available over here are not good fighters. I mean, it doesn't actually matter to us as long as they don't get the Riftborn's capital. And the Riftborn have ships. They're in a position to defend. They just have to actually go and bother to do it. Alright, and then all of these ships... I mean, I guess we could send some defense over, right? I don't even know what these ships are. How about you guys just pop over to Viasherus? We'll throw you in the garbage fleet. You know, the ships have guns. They're not good ships, but they have some guns. And then we... Yeah, these two fleets probably both have to pop over to Sophon territory, unfortunately. We need the Skeeds to clear the way, and then the Murder fleet to show up shortly afterward. We should probably redistribute the taxis a little bit here. Or maybe even just move them all over. I don't have enough room to move them all over. We can move 2 of them over. These guys need to be faster. So we've seen a couple of Sophon fleets flying around. They don't seem particularly large. There's just a bunch of medium vessels. A moderate number of medium vessels. Maybe a modest amount of medium vessels. Not anything to be too worried about. So we have our elite anti-cloaking probe available. This is a support module, so we just need to make a medium ship design. Or, not medium, rather a support ship design. Mount one of these. Well, that's a problem we can worry about once we claim Micra, because I don't think we're going to need the cloaking reveal against anybody else, anybody other than the Umbral Choir. So once we take Micra, we'll design a ship for anti-cloaking, and we'll throw one of those into the queue. And for now, let's get even more manpower deployment limit. And jam everybody we can into these attacks. I guess, really, I should use as few command points as possible while running people off here, in case we also have to run off the pirates. So, Juggernaut out and attack. Scientific Behemoth will just run away, and then we have this guy attack the pirates? I guess it depends on whether they let me start sieging the system. Oh, another ship has moved into the area. I'm probably going to have to fight that instead. What are we doing? What are we waiting on here? Your opponent is choosing their strategy. No, my opponent is using this time to move additional ships into the system. Okay, well, that effect has come to an end, which is a shame, but hey, at least we're maintaining our positive dust level. Alright, these guys, still having their action point, can attack the other ships, which are, of course, completely irrelevant. So yeah, they're showing up as cloaked. Do Juggernauts have automatic... Does our Juggernaut have a module that reveals stuff? He shouldn't. Yeah, I don't think we have anything that should be revealing cloaked people. We definitely don't have any of those support modules. Okay, this doesn't matter at all. We completely ignore that. Texalxixos Druze. Honestly, not very much stuff aside from the movement of our ships is actually meaningful anymore. Oh, we got this party van finished. Where do we want to send that? Honestly, I don't know that Micra... Well, no, it would be best if a party van ended up over here. Okay, that's our answer for where we want to send that. Okay, this is the one we wanted. So we'll jump it to Viasherus. Unfortunately, not able to move our portal forward. But I don't think... Like, the one ship that's waiting here is not going to be able to stop the party van due to being far too small. So we are still not actually in control here. Gonna run off these pirates. Should be completely trivial. Although I do want to make sure that we move all of the non-military ships out of the flotillas that are actually going to engage in combat. They have enough manpower that we need to put a ship in the top. Okay. And their ships are absolutely horrible, so should be a total no-brainer. Yep, I don't think we took any damage at all. Okay, now we're in control. They have a lot of manpower that they can apply to countering this siege. We definitely need the party van over here before we go. How many turns of movement was it looking like? Okay, that's a little non-ideal. That's a distance. And then we get to recruit a new hero, but like this actually could not matter less. You. Welcome to the team. We'll just snap you to... Actually, am I allowed to equip you to this fleet? I am not, because they're not in friendly territory. Well, then we'll make you part of... this fleet. Party van can run the new Rilkata over to the combat fleets, and we'll move her onto a more appropriate ship there. You know, she does give bonus movement. And apparently that bonus movement becomes active immediately. Weird. Oh, but her ship is slow. We didn't retrofit it. Well, whatever. Gonna take an extra turn. Yeah, that's not ideal. I did not remember to retrofit her ship before attaching her to the fleet. You would think that the new guys would show up with some reasonable gear on them. I don't know what they're doing with all the money that they're earning over at the academy. What is happening here? This is 45 ships. Why? Okay, so I mean, Blue has an actual navy. This taking Blue over might be a little bit harder than it has been to take over the other ones. Blue and Green are not friends. What's going on with Blue? They're at war with Green currently. This presents an opportunity to us. Blue's fleet being all gathered up like this for us to view, but I'm not exactly sure how to best take advantage of it. They have 24 max command points on their fleets. Their ships look, honestly, not horrible. Not as good as ours, but significantly more numerous than ours, which is going to matter a lot. We might have to actually build some more ships to send over here before we declare on them. I don't know. I guess this is a thing I can figure out how I want to pursue in the break between this episode and the next, because that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. We are close now. Come back next time to see how we deal with the Sophon problem, and we'll see you then.